We all know that Barcelona need to sign a striker after this season in the summer transfer window. And there's a couple of names that they've been linked with. But the reports that I'm seeing has them locked in on a certain striker. And it looks like they're going to be going back to Bayern to take their number 9 off of them. So we got to talk about it because I know that there's a lot of Barca fans that don't really want Harry Kane. They prefer Julian Alvarez. But to be honest, the striker market at the moment, it's a bit weird because it seems like everyone has their teams that they're at, so deals would be hard to get done. And then we know that with Barcelona's financial situation, they just can't go out there and spend huge money on one singular player. So let's actually break down this report. And I need to know what you guys are saying. Get in the comment section, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Now, it looks like Harry Kane might be Barcelona's main target next summer. And how I view this, before we read what it says, I think this is a stopgap signing because Harry Kane is like 32 years old or something like that. He probably only has maybe 1 or 2 years left playing at an elite level. And I think Harry Kane is arguably the best striker in the world right now. But I know it's not going to be an easy deal to get done. Don't Barcelona still owe Bayern money for Lewandowski? So I don't think Bayern are going to make it easy for Barca to come and sign Harry Kane. On top of that, right, if Barcelona end up signing this guy, then Bayern are going to be out of a number 9. So what are they going to do? Now, the report are saying that Barcelona have made Harry Kane their top target for the summer. He has a 65 million euro release clause and could replace Robert Lewandowski, whose contract ends this season. Now, I have a couple of questions here, and maybe you guys can get in the comment section and help me figure this out. But where are Barcelona going to get 65 million euros from? When you have a release clause, you have to pay it in full. I don't think Bayern are going to sit here and work with Barcelona for them to be able to sign Harry Kane. I mean, it's bad enough that Barcelona took Lewandowski off of them, and Barcelona still owe them money for Lewandowski as well. So Bayern are not really a selling club. And I do think there are going to be a lot of teams interested in Harry Kane when his release clause kicks in, because 65 million, yeah, that could be a little bit pricey for a player of his age. But, I mean, you see the quality that he has. I mean, Harry Kane is one of the best strikers that I've seen since I've started watching football over the last 11 years. This guy's an absolute baller. Harry Kane can do everything, right? He can drop deep, link play, is an amazing passer, an amazing finisher, penalties, headers, left foot, right foot. The only thing that he does not have currently is pace. But the way that he plays, his footballing IQ, he doesn't really need PNP to be effective, right? So I think this would be a good signing for Barca because it's a stopgap. I don't think Barcelona can really get the targets that they actually want, right? Like, I know a lot of you guys want Julian Alvarez. He is Atletico Madrid's best player. Why would they sell him to Barcelona for a good price? Do Barca have 130 million to go and sign Julian Alvarez? I don't think so, right? Now, I know that that's the dream target, but like I said earlier, the striker market right now is a bit weird. It seems like all the top strikers in the world are already at their clubs. Like, look at it. For example, Alexander Isak. I predicted that he would end up at Barca, but that's before he went to Liverpool. Now they just signed him for 140 million. He's not going anywhere. Ekitike's not going anywhere, right? You can't afford Erling Haaland. Man just signed like a 9-year deal at Man City. Like, who's really available right now? Because Barcelona are going to have to upgrade that position. Lewandowski, he is washed, right? He's still a good goal scorer if you create chances for him, but his all-around game is lacking, right? And he is about 37 years old, so the fall-off was eventually going to come. Last season, Lewandowski was phenomenal, Man bagged so many goals. But now, he just really can't hack it like that. I think Harry Kane is an upgrade over him. But again, you're only going to get maybe 1 or 2 seasons at a very high level out of him before you find yourself in another similar position, right? And I know that, there's other options as well that aren't big names like a Harry Kane, Julian Alvarez, Erling Haaland. For example, look at Guirassy from Dortmund. I think maybe that signing wouldn't be a bad one, right? I think he'd maybe cost you around 60 million. I think he's like 29 years old, has pace, has power, is a very good finisher, will press, right? Has a good goal-scoring record in the Champions League as well. I know that Barcelona are also linked to that Levante striker. I'm forgetting his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Point is, it's going to be very interesting to see what Barcelona do next summer because I do think they need to address the number 9 position, right? On top of that, I also think that they need to address their back line. And then you have the situation with Marcus Rashford. What are they going to do with his contract situation concerning the buy option that they have, right? Can they afford to spend $35 million on Rashford next summer and get a striker and get another defender to help their back line? Now, I don't think Harry Kane is the ideal profile that Barcelona need. For me, I think the striker that Barca needs is a guy that's just a bagsman, right? I think Harry Kane, yes, he does bag a lot of goals, but his overall game, like there's a lot of times you watch Harry Kane, this brother is dropping into the midfielder, right? Like this guy is damn near a number 10 that just can bag a bunch of goals. I think Barcelona don't really need players that are more of creators right now, right? Like you have Pedri, right? You have Rafinha, you have Yamal, right? You have Frankie de Jong, you have Danny Olmo, right? You already have players on the pitch that are there to create for a striker, right? Like Alejandro Balde overlapping, whipping the ball into the box. I think Harry Kane, that could potentially be an issue just because he does like to be on the ball. I think a Erling Haaland would be perfect for Barcelona. But it's just not realistic, right? Again, these Julian Alvarez links, how are you going to get that signing over the line? Atleti signed him for about 95 million. He is the best thing that they have at that club. He is the only hope that they have in their attack, essentially. And thing is, Atleti have a good squad, but Julian Alvarez is by far the best player there, and he is one of the best strikers in Europe. And he's still young. He's in the prime of his career. Why would they sell him to Barca? And if they were willing to sell him to Barca, if Julian Alvarez was trying to force that move, do you guys think that Barcelona have the 130 million that it may cost to get that deal over the line? So I think for right now, Harry Kane is the best option. Now, I think, if Harry Kane does leave Bayern, I'm not sure if he would end up going to Barca because I'm thinking maybe Harry Kane would want to go back to the Premier League. I know that he's still trying to chase that record for top goal scorer in that competition, and he's already won his trophies at Bayern, so he kind of did what he wanted to by going there. I don't know if he stays. If I'm Harry Kane, I wouldn't leave Bayern. I mean, you're cooking at the moment. You could have a chance to win trophies right now. Bayern are looking like arguably one of the best teams in the world. But what this shows you, let's be real, right? Bayern are an elite club, but they're not on the level as a Real Madrid, as a Barcelona. Like, they're in the conversation, but I think Barca and Real Madrid are a step up from Bayern. I think we're maybe the only two clubs that are a legit step up from Bayern. But does Harry Kane really care about taking a step up? Like, does he at this age? I don't know. If I was him, why not? I'd go to Barca. But I don't think, again, his profile is exactly needed. For me, stopgap signing, it'd be very expensive. I don't know if Barcelona can even afford it, but it definitely is an interesting one because the football that he'd be able to play in terms of the link up with him, Yamal, Pedri, Rafinha, etc., that would be something that's very interesting. But yeah, get a comment section. Let me know what you're saying about Harry Kane and these links. Do you think he stays at Bayern? And if he leaves, do you think he'd be a good fit at Barcelona? Or do you see him going back to the Premier League? Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.